Student loans. Golly, why they start off with that? I just paid mine off like last year. And I graduated in 94.
Was it even 20 years to pay off your loans?
Pretty much.
That's like telling my 18-year-old he's got a full ride to that. I'll definitely, I'll kill you.
Make sure you take it. Okay, let's look at those right here. All right, now I'm teaching y'all. I say the best two units for last because a lot of units, the two remaining units, is based on a two-term word: common sense. A lot of Unit 3 is common sense. Know your bank balance. Why? Why do you need to know your bank balance? Doesn't matter.
Yes,
It's overdraft. Overdraft protection.
What if your overdraft is max?
That's free money. That ain't my money. That's the bank's money. I'm telling you the way people think, okay? All right? That's the bank's money. That ain't my money. I can spend all I want. Know what you spend. Keep track of your debit and credit card spending. Don't buy on impulse. Make a budget. I'm bad about this. Okay? I will go. Don't let me go to Target or Hobby Lobby. Because I will spend. All right? And my daughter knows this. My 17-year-old daughter knows this. So I pick her up on Wednesday and she'll say, "Daddy, let's go to Target." She knows exactly what she's doing. And I take her to Target because I want to go to Target too. Why don't I go to Walmart? I don't feel like getting mugged. All right. Make a budget. Now, I have a budget kind of like in my head, but I don't really need a budget because after alimony and child support, I ain't got no money. So I'm just kidding. I really. What? I don't really need to make a budget, but I do know that after that's paid and after the direct bill's paid, because I watch a lot of movies, and after the HughesNet's paid, and after the light bill's paid, and after, oh, thank you, I appreciate you asking me if you wanted something, I wanted something to drink.
Would you like something?
No, forget it now. Yeah, I got nothing.
What would you like?
I want Sprite. I like to go with clear liquids and move to the black. So, all right. So clear first. That means Sprite and Mellow Yellow, and then anything after that. Huh? I know they're bad for you. I don't drink them a lot. I try to drink Sprite. All right. Don't overspend. I have a problem doing that. But I mentally, I have to keep transferring money from my savings account over because I am a spender. And I will go to Target and I will spend money. But you have to keep control of it. All right? Are you a Hubert? Are you a Bill Gates? This thing is not writing very well. I don't know why. Okay? Now, nobody in Anderson can say they're Bill Gates. But what I mean by Bill Gates? Well, his positive is a whole lot bigger than his what? What do you mean his positive is a whole lot bigger than his? His bank account is a whole lot bigger than his what? His bills. But if you're a Hubert, your negative is a whole lot bigger than your positive. All right, so unless you're this guy, you have to worry about spending and you have to worry about income, because you don't want to end up, where you can't go out and get a credit card because you're not a credit card. You don't want a credit card. You don't want to go out because what does it affect? If you don't pay your bills, it affects your credit rating. And credit rating is like grade point average and gaining weight. It's easy to do, but it's hard to undo. Okay? Your credit rating is just like grade point average and gaining weight. It's easy to do, but hard to undo. It's easy for the credit rating, your credit rating, to get bad. Very easy. All you got to do is not pay your bills. And then those three credit agencies, they get those negative accounts. They get reported. Thank you, ma'am. They get those negative accounts, and then your credit score starts plummeting. Now, I'm going to turn over a new leaf, and I want to get my credit score looking better. Well, it'll take you about 6 to 10 years to get it to make a dent in it. And that's if you pay all your bills for 6 to 10 years and not have any negative, because every 7 years, the bad stuff falls off. The bad stuff that you fix falls off. All right? The bad stuff that you haven't fixed stays on there until you get it fixed. And then 7 years after it gets fixed, I think it's 7 years. 7 years after you fix it, it goes off.
Your credit score can improve within that 7 years.
It can improve, but it's hard to get it to improve unless you take care of the bad stuff. You got to make the bad stuff good. So the best thing to do is don't even get the bad stuff. How do you avoid getting credit rating? 1. Amen. One thing you don't get is what? Credit cards. Now a lot of people say, well, you need a credit card. You get a debit card and you get a credit card from your bank, and that's it. You don't need nothing else. All right? The bad thing about credit cards, there's 2 types of credit cards. There is legitimate credit cards, and then there is the con artist credit cards, I call them. You've got to watch credit cards. If you get a credit card from your bank, then your bank is going to say, okay, they're going to give you a sheet of paper, and it's going to have all these things about the credit card. And on the credit cards, it's going to basically say that they can adjust the interest however they want to. So, if you have $0 on that credit card, your interest is going to be very low because they can't make any money off of 0, because 0 times anything is what? 0. So if you have no balance on the credit card, they're not going to raise the interest 22% because 22% times 0 is 0. And they're not going to make money. But as soon as you put $1 on that credit card, guess what? That 0% interest that you got with that credit card goes up. Now, how high that interest goes depends on if the credit card company is crook or not. And that's where you have to decide. Some credit cards, Capital One, some of your credit cards that you get in the mail where it says, you can have $20,000 credit limit on this credit card if you just send this in, blah, blah, blah. Those are the ones you throw away. You do not mess with those. Because what happens is, they'll shoot up. You buy a stereo or you buy whatever. Let's say you go out and buy a refrigerator. You go out and buy a refrigerator. No, let's buy a washer. I just bought a dishwasher. That dishwasher is about $800. All right? So you buy $800, and instead of paying, you pay with that Capital One credit card, and it shoots up to 21% interest just as soon as I put that on. Yep, it's not paid within the month. Now, if you pay that $800 off in the month, then everything's fine and hunky-dory. But that ain't what people do. What do they do? Minimum what? Minimum payment. Minimum payment. Do not do the minimum payment. Why? It takes you like 15 years to pay that $800. And we'll get into the interest in a little bit, okay? And it'll make you sick. When we get through doing interest on cars and houses and credit cards, you will go out and burn your credit cards. Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen that credit card
I don't need to. I went through the credit card stage. All people go through it. Well, some people are smarter than me. I wasn't. Oh yeah, Clemson. I was at Clemson, and I started getting credit cards. Let me know. And when I got out of Clemson, I had about $50,000 worth of credit card debt at about 21% interest. And about half of them were late payments. And then if you're late on your payment, what does that constitute? Another fee. $30 added on to that $200 and something dollars. And then what else is it? Oh, then there's a limit that you can put on that credit card. And what happens if you go over that limit? Another fee. Another $30. So there's $60 added on at the end of the month because I'm over the limit and I didn't pay my payment. That's $60 more. And that interest rate's going to go up a little bit more. Each time you put more on that credit card, a little bit more. To me, a credit card limit means that you can't go over that limit, right? So at $2,100, what should the credit card do? It should stop charging. Does it? No, you put them fees on there. Can you use a credit card? No, but they can keep putting them fees on there. I don't know how they can put $2,160, $2,160, $60 worth of fees if it's $2,100 credit limit. How can they keep putting it on there? But they can't. Then they're going to get you so far into debt that you can't pay your way out. And if you've got 5 or 6 of these guys, they're going to eat your lunch. Okay, so one, stay away from credit cards. That's one big thing. Another thing is, know what you're making. If you make $1,500 a month, then that means you make $6,000 a month. 1,500 times 4, what is that? 6,000. You make $6,000 a month. Then you need to go through and find out how much you eat. You need to find out how much your rent is. Your rent, let's say, is $500 a month. Let's say your power bill and water bill and all that is $300 a month altogether. Your direct and your cell phone and your computer is all bundled up. It's $200 a month. Okay, wait a minute now. $500 a month, $600, 500, what did I say, 300 and 200, that's what? 500, that's $1,000 right there. That's $1,000 a month just where you live. And you make how much? $6,000. I'm sorry. I said $6,000. That's no. $1,500 a month. That's what it's $1,500 a month. You've already spent $1,000 of that $1,500 just with where you live. That leaves you with $500 for you to live on. Have y'all ever seen The Cosby Show? You ever seen where Theo wants to move out? That is one of the best economic things to watch when you're talking about moving out and being your own person. Theo found out quickly that what? He ain't going to be able to make it. And you ought to watch that. We'll pull it up here in a minute. Know what you make. And not only know what you make sure you know what you're spending. Because these two have to what? They have to coincide. Or they have to match. Now, if you got $2,500 a month and you spend $1,500 on everything and you've got $1,000 left, then that's good. That's called a surplus. And a surplus is good.
Unless you got kids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you got kids, you can forget a surplus. All right? Don't get married. She says don't get married. That's a good idea. Don't have kids. You know, there is something I would like to say. If you don't have the ability to pay for one kid, what am I fixing to say? I don't have two.
Thinking about credit cards, though, like these kids can't establish any kind of credit reference unless they're making like my 24-year-old is fixing to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he had limited credit except for his car payment.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he did move out for a year and paid kids don't have that.
Well, that's why I tell them to go through their bank. A lot of people have bank accounts by the time they're 18 years old. They can get a credit card through their bank account, through their bank, or they can get a pay-as-you-go credit card or something like that. That
They
establishes
have to
credit.
establish some kind of.
Yeah. And also buying a car. Parents, usually what happens is, the kid goes out, wants a car, they go to the used car lot, they get a finance, whatever. The bank puts the kid's name on there, but co-signed, but that helps establish credit for that. So there are ways to establish credit,
Yeah, but that's
especially if
not
you're,
law.
but it's not. Don't go out and get 15 credit cards and don't do that. Do not do that. 1 or 2, maybe. But you better use them and you better pay them off, because if you get in that trap, you'll never get out of it. Okay? And just basically use a little bit of common sense. Use a little bit of common sense. There is a saying, and remember I told y'all that there's 2 or 3 things you can get by with in life. One is nothing is free. Nothing's free. There's 2 kinds of people in the world, givers and you never tell a woman if she was fat or you will remarry again. Okay? Those are the guys. You never do that. Alright, there's also one more I told y'all. What's the other one? Givers and takers. I told y'all this the other day. Okay, well here's another one. I don't know how to spell champagne. So, however you spell it, I know something funny around here. Huh? Is it? Champagne taste on what? Beer budget. What does that mean? Say again, huh?
Basically, you spend more than you
Exactly. Okay, that's what people do. They go out. You know, one of my favorite restaurants is Outback. Okay, why don't I eat at Outback every night? Because I can't afford it. I will be the first person to tell you that I'm broke. All right, usually, you know, when I make payments and stuff like that, I'm broke. All right, I still a couple of steers. I'm only broke for a little while. Okay, so that money runs out. But the whole point is, I know that I cannot go to Outback 5 days a week and eat. Can't do it. Heck, I can barely go to Waffle House and eat 5 days a week. The point is, you've got to know that. The people that get in trouble are the people that go to J. Peters 5 times a week. Okay? There's not many people in Anderson County that can afford J. Peters 5 days a week. Alright? There's a lot of people that think they can afford J. Peters 5 days a week. But you think about that. Let's say you go to J. Peters and get a salad with a drink, you're talking about $8, right? $8 or $9? Times 4, that's $45 a week. $45 a week, let's say 50. Let's say with tips and all, $50 a week. 50 times 5 or 4. 50, that's $200 a month. How many of you could do something nice with $200 a month? I could. That's a payment on something. A dang old dishwasher or something. A dang old payment on something. Alright, champagne taste on the beer budget. Now there's nothing wrong with splurging every now and then, but you don't, know your limitations. You might not want to go to Outback for that splurge. Dang old Longhorn or something. Or Outback Longhorn. So, dang old drop down one. Drop down to dang old Chili's or something. Champagne taste on a beer budget. Stay away from the champagne taste. Unless you're Bill Gates. Okay? Or unless you're, who else is that guy that started Facebook? Zuckerberg or whatever his name is. Yeah. Those people have money. It's called real money. Real money is when you can buy a hotel with cash if you want to. Okay? Not if you can make payments on a Cadillac. That's not real money.
What's the dude's name? He actually owns the island. He's in the top there with Bill Gates and all that. Got buildings, I forget his name. He actually owns the island.
Okay.
Trump?
No.
Surplus. What is a surplus?
He owns more money.
You have more money than you have bills at the end of the month. It don't look right. But anyway, this thing is not, I don't know why it's not like correct. More money than bills after you pay. Now, I don't know if that's spelled right. I can't spell and write with this dang pen. Deficit. What is a deficit? More bills than what? And that's Hubert. This is Bill Gates. This is Hubert. More bills than money. Huh?
I said, I don't know if anybody really knows that's not in the.
I know. And if you face life realistically, there's not a lot of people in this country who are rich. They think they are. I mean, you have people that come out of the military that think they're rich. You don't get rich in the military. All right? Just like a lot of people that think they're teachers and they're retired and they're rich. You don't come out of education thinking you're rich. I mean, you don't, because you barely get enough to get by because they don't pay teachers anything. All right? They should. They should pay teachers a lot of money for what they have to put up with, but they don't. So, now, Bill Gates, like I said, he's got a surplus. See, you will never give Bill Gates a bill that he can't pay. Or Zuckerberg, or whatever his name is. Debt is accumulation of deficit. Y'all ready for a real world jolt? Of course, we know it's all Bush's fault, but let's look at a real world jolt. Let's just go here. What?
I've seen this.
No, it's not.
Well, don't depress.
It's Bush's fault. It'll take an hour for it to come up. Oh, we got to do. No. Ugh. This is getting old, okay? I know. No, I got to do the. Where's the thing that says? You're supposed to ask that I want it to. I'm about ready to quit. I'm trying to get the. You want to allow all that stuff to come up? It's not going to work. I got to get out of it.
Can you do it individually?
Hold on. I'm going to have to pull it up again. Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen it. That's the problem. Not picking on you or anything. No, that's Firefox sends data. Hold on, I'll just. Yeah, and I hit no. Let me go through Internet Explorer. So let's look at this a little while. Right now, the U.S. national debt is $18 trillion. Okay, now the green, what is green in accounting? It's positive. That's money coming in to the United States through taxes, through fees, through whatever, revenue. And it says right there, state revenue, local revenue, income tax revenue. And then you got Social Security and the stuff right here. It's gray. Why is it gray? Because it's making money, but we're also what? Taking money from it. It's kind of like a savings account. It makes us a little bit of money, but we're taking money from it. So that's why it's gray. So we got $18 trillion deficit. Let's look and see. When was Bush elected? 2008, right? I think, or 2004, 2000.
9/11, he was
Two-
president. So
Yeah.
2001, because that was when Clinton was
Yeah, 2000. He was elected in 2000. So Bush took over, it was $5 trillion. When Bush left, it was, when did he leave? 2008? So $5 trillion, let's say $6 trillion. He got when he got it from the Clinton administration. Blame it on the Clintons. No, you don't do that. To 2008, $6 trillion to $10 trillion. How much is that? $4 trillion. So under Bush, $4 trillion. Okay, let's look and see. So what did Obama? He inherited 9 or 10 trillion, and what is it now? So what did he spend? Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't spend it. I don't know who did though.
what's current?
Where is current? I don't see current. Well, there it is. Was that 18? Okay, 18 trillion. And by the way it looks, by the time we get to the next election, 2019, 2019 it's going to be 20 trillion. Now let's look at some other things that the USDA clock has, because the USDA clock does not lie. Because this is numbers.
Do you
Look
get
here.
your own social security number? You get-
I don't know. U.S. population. Look at the U.S. population. 333 million. Or, yeah, 333 million.
That's for the future, right?
Workforce. Okay, let me go back to, thank you. 2015. There we go. Okay, here we go. U.S. population right now is 320 million. U.S. workforce.
Not even half.
Here's where you get your real numbers from with the unemployment. Officially unemployed. Well, elderly and the young people, yeah, exactly. So U.S. workforce is 148 million. Unofficially unemployed, officially unemployed is 8 million. Close to 9 million. Not in labor force. What does that mean? They're not working. In other words, not in labor force. That would be young people and elderly. So, we can take 320 million and we can find out how many people can work, but what? Don't work or won't work. Because I'll be honest with you, if I could not pay for my son's clothes, I'd be at McDonald's somewhere. I'd be working in a ditch somewhere getting money for my child. But some people don't want to do that. So, not in the labor force. Somebody take a calculator, take 320 million, that's the U.S. population, and take out not in labor force, meaning children and elderly. That's what I would assume it was. Because not in labor force is people that cannot what? Work because of their age. So, how much does that leave? And just round it. Let's say 321 million minus 93 million. What does that come out to be? Okay. 227 million people can what? Work. So let's see what the official unemployed is. Take 8,610,226 and divide by that number. 220 million. No, 8. Go ahead and take 9 million and divide by 221 million, whatever you have. What do you get?
Priority 1 message coming in on secured channel.
Okay, can y'all not do that or what?
0.0396.
Okay, 4%. But you got official unemployed, and you got what? What's the difference between official and
Priority
actual?
1 message coming in on secured channel.
What does official mean with the government? That means the paperwork has been done. That means they're drawing what? Unemployment. These people are drawing unemployment. Because they're official, that means they've done what?
Work.
The paperwork. They've done the paperwork.
They don't work.
Yeah.
Be entitled to that.
These people, they just ain't working. So you can get your numbers there, both of these. So take 9 million plus 17 million, that's 26 million, right? Now, take 26 million and divide by, what was it, 221 million? Do that, what you get?
0.117.
Oh my gosh, that's 12%. Does anybody know what the unemployment rate was during the recession? It was about 10%. Wait a minute, you said a while ago it was 4%. It depends on what number are you? So when you see a unemployment number on the news and they say jumped from 10% during the recession to 4%, which one are they using? They're using the official. But if you count both of them, which are all unemployed, it comes out to be 12%. You got to watch. You got to be informed, and you got to educate yourself. One way to do that is through this guy. A lot of people didn't even know this existed until today. I think it should be on every exit exam. I think you should be able to read an example of this and know where it is and know what it means before you exit high school. But it's not on the test, so it doesn't matter. Huh?
So it's all about the tackling, you gotta know.
Yep. When to use it, how to use it.
Man, you gotta know that for your own test.
Look down here. And you can switch this over to, let's switch this over and see how our leadership in South Carolina is doing.
Yeah.
Dang old South Carolina. Dang old.
What is that? What is the debt to GDP?
GDP is gross debt product or something. I don't know. It's gross something. All right, now we've got 4 million, or close to 5 million in South Carolina, and there's our unemployment rate. Or so you'd have to find the employed before. I don't know if you could click on that or not. I don't know. You'd have to expand this. I'm not up on this, so I don't know if you can expand this anymore or what. I'm looking to see what here's our debt, which is 42 billion. I don't know what it was. I don't know if you can go back. No, you can't go back. I was going to say it's not as detailed as the USDA clock, but debt per citizen, each one of us owes $9,000 to the state. So I don't know if this population is workers. I don't know if this population is everybody. I don't know. It doesn't say, so I don't know.
What is that down at the bottom, the gold and precious metals? What is that?
How it's trading, I guess, or how much we have. I don't know. Okay, so that's something that y'all need to look at and that's something that we're going to learn more about. Why is this so important? It's important because in the last section of this chapter, we're going to be talking about income taxes and how income taxes are figured. And a lot of people think that it's complicated. It's not. It's not really complicated at all. And how you end up paying, or how you end up owing, or the government owes you, or you owe the government at the end of the tax year. And that's where this is going. See this where this says U.S. federal tax revenue? When you pay $200 in taxes to the government, that's where it goes. Or whatever your income tax is that you have to pay. If you've already given that much with all your taxes that you give, then they owe you. And that's how that works. So you can play with this all you want to. And that's that. Wait till we get to interest. Just wait. So how much is a latte? Is it $5? It says $5 with tax and tip. A tip? So how many of you can afford a $5 drink every morning? I can't. But there's people that get them every morning. Champagne taste, beer budget. I ain't on no beer budget. Okay, how much you make? Oh no. Okay, whatever. Now that's simple interest. This is not what we're going to be doing, but simple interest. $1,100 on her charge card, 24%, which bills at a rate of 2% per month. And they give it to you right there how to do it. And at the end of the year, you pay $264 interest. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one because that ain't the one we're going to be doing. We're going to get to that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on budget because we're not going to do too much of a budget. So I'm going to skip that area. Because I think you have to know your own your own situation before you can do a budget. I'll tell you what's important when we get there.
Did you read Dave Ramsey stuff?
I don't read. What? I fall.
Did you ever go through Dave Ramsey stuff and all that?
Yeah, he makes a lot of sense. If people would listen to people like him more.
That's what I went through. Started reading all that stuff. But it was crazy, man. He was like $100,000, $200,000 in debt.
Mhm.
Like 55, $60 million.
Okay, here we go. Now we're talking about something important. Power of compounding. This is section B. All right, compound interest. Let me talk about compound interest and why it's very important. Compound interest is what the banks do, basically. Simple interest is when you, like, I'll give you an example of simple interest. Simple interest, and I'm going to put out here. I know y'all can't read that. I don't know what's up with this thing. I guess I have to write like a first grade. Still don't write good. Okay? I like to tell students that simple interest is what you would do for a friend or a family member. Okay? In other words, let's say that this happened, well, I didn't charge my dad. Me and my sister didn't charge my dad simple interest, but there was one day that my dad was very, what do you call it, big-hearted. And whenever somebody was in trouble, he'd try to help them. And he sold this lot to this girl because she was getting a divorce and got beat up by her husband 5,000 or 6,000 times. And my dad sold her a lot with a mobile home so she could live there. Well, 2 or 3 years went down the road and she wanted to sell the lot. She just came up one day and told my dad, said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I really want to sell this lot. And I wanted to let you know before I put it, tell my brother-in-law or brother or whatever she was going to do. She was going to tell them late on that afternoon. My dad wanted to hurry up and get the lot back because we wanted to keep it on the farm. So he was a little bit strapped for money. So he called me and my sister and told us that we could get the lot back, blah, blah, blah. Well, we got the money. Between me and my sister, we got the money and we bought the lot back. Okay. Now, if that had been another situation, like with a distant relative or friend, you might have charged that person simple interest. And let's say it was $5,000. But you let that person borrow $5,000 till the end of the year, let's say for a year. Now, a lot of people say, well, you're not going to charge them for it. Well, think about it. Just think about this from a business standpoint. Where is that $5,000 pretty much? It's not in a jar buried in your backyard, is it? Where is it? It's in the bank. So what is it doing for you? It's making you money, isn't it? Because it's either in a savings account or a CD or a money market or whatever, invested in stocks or whatever, and it's bringing in a little bit of return. So if you take that money out and give it to somebody, that's basically not only taking the $5,000 out of your pocket, it's also taking the what? The interest that you could make on it. So you need to be able, it's just business, okay? Nothing personal, just business. So let's say the bank has this in a savings account at 3%, compounded, blah, 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 all right? Well, that means that you're making money off this $5,000. So you need to charge your friend or your cousin or whatever the case may be some kind of interest, but you don't want to go through the compounding and do it every month and all that. So you just say simple interest, and you say at 6% simple interest. For 1 year.
That's 6%.
Because compounded interest is going to be compounded every month. Okay? I just put 6% on there because I'm not going to compound it every month. I'm just going to put a simple
That's
interest.
actually 6% less.
You don't, I don't know.
It's double.
We would have to see. And we can do that next. That's what I was going to do, but y'all taking the thunder away from me. So.
Sorry.
Can I be in charge for a while? Okay? All right. So, for 1 year. So basically you say, George, this time next year I want you to pay me interest with the $5,000. I want you to pay me the 6% interest and the $5,000 next March. By the end of next March. Okay, and y'all shake hands and y'all write a little contract up. And you get somebody to witness it and y'all sign it. Notary public stamp. And that would be $5,000. The Walmart equation, as I tell my students, the X plus percentage X is equal to the total. It's what we use for taxes when you go into Walmart. You take your price and you multiply times the taxes and then you add it back to the price. That's the Walmart equation. So, 5,000 plus 6% of 5,000 is equal to, somebody tell me what that comes out to be. Well, let's do it in our head because we don't want to be on the calculator drill team. So we're going to do, what's 10% of 5,000? 500. So what would 1% be? 50. And what's 50 times 6? 300. So at the end of a year, George gives you what? 5,300 back. And that's simple interest. Now, of course, you don't have to do 6%. You could have done 5%, 3%. That 3% would not be the same as 3% compounded. Okay? So that's why I just stuck 6% on there. And I remember my dad selling a lot we bought a bunch of, my dad bought a bunch of lots across the street. It was all bottom land, but there was a bunch of subdivision lots. So my dad, one of the neighbors over there wanted to buy one of the lots, so we got beside the lot. So he sold it to him at 6% interest at the end of 5 years. And the guy said, well, can I just take that $6,000, I think it was $6,000 or $8,000, I multiply it by 6%, divide it into payments for 5 years.
One message coming in
said,
on
yeah.
secured channel.
And that's the way he did it. So, let's check to see compounding. How you do compounding? Well, this is the did I not hit? All right, compounded is the D times 1 plus R over N raised to 10 to the power. P is equal to the principal. Principal is what you put into the savings account or what you borrow and whatever. R is your rate. N is the number of times compounded. Compounded means how many times it's calculated. How many times the computer will go through and calculate the interest. And then T is the number of years. Okay? So, let's say that 5,000 and the rate is 3%. And number of times it's compounded is monthly, so that would be 12. And 1 year. How much? I don't know. I haven't done it. So let's calculate it. So that would be, I'm just going to put it in, that'd be 5,000 times 1 plus 0.03 over 12 to the 12th power. So I'm going to take my, now the calculator is real good to use on this because you can actually do it on the calculator without even writing anything down. And I'll show you how to do that because some people don't know how to do it. So I'm going to pull up my handy dandy calculator. And if you got a TI 83 or better, I don't want an 89 because they're cumbersome to work. Here is our TI 83. And first thing you do is you turn it on. And you work your way inside out. And that would be 0.03 divided by what? 12. Add 1. Which that number at a bank will always be around what? 1, because if it was around 2 or 3, the bank would be giving you money, giving money away. Because 2 times 6,000 would be what? 12,000, and they'd be doubling your money. And the bank ain't interested in doing that. So that number will always be around what? 1. Okay? Multiply that, raise that to the 12th power. Still going to be around 1. And then multiply that by what? 5,000. And then add that to 5,000. No, it already did. Sorry. Yeah, it did. I'm sorry. So, I got $5,152.08. So, compounded interest is $5,100. So, what was the other one? How much did we make on the other one? We made $300 on the simple interest and made $152 on the compounded interest. So yes, we did double our interest by 6 and 3. Not all the time does that happen. It depends on how many years you keep it in the bank. This was 1 year, so yes, double. It's going to double at the end of 1 year. All right. Okay. What time's class in? Just want to make sure 11, right? Now that's how you do compound interest versus simple interest. Now there's another interest that uses E, and I don't know if we cover it, but we're going to find out here in just a second. I don't know if this book covers it or not. Let's see. We talked about simple interest, compound interest. There's compound interest. I don't give you the formula for it. I did. I'm trying to find. There's compound interest. Now, look how they write it. They dummy it down for y'all. I don't like that. All right. A is equal to P, parentheses, 1 plus, this is R over N. Write that down, R over N. This is N times T. I would rather you learn it the way it's supposed to be learned. Okay, not dummy down. Alright? So APR, right? APR is equal to R over N, and Y is equal to N times T. T is equal to years. What if I keep money in for 6 months? What is T? 0.5. Write that down. Okay? If I tell you that I keep the money in there for 6 months, T is 0.5. Because T is usually labeled in years. Okay?
Why would it be 0.5 rather than 0.6?
Okay, what is 6 months?
Half a year.
Half a year. It would be 0.5. Huh?
I think there's 12 months in a year, so I would think of it as 6. So that I get a half.
No. T is numbered in years. Okay? It's years. So if I say 6 months, that's what years? 0.5.
Why don't have anything to do with the 12th power?
You got to go see N times T. T is 1 year. N is 12. 12 times 1 is 12. Okay? So don't let this throw you off in the book. Just do with the formula that I use. Unless they just give you Y years and tell you, they don't tell you anything else. I mean, just make sure you know both formulas. There's simple and compound. We talked about that. What?
Life's so expensive,
Oh my goodness. Why is he doing that?
Interest and credit card debt stuff.
Wait till we get to the houses and how much you spend on your house.
So you get your principal. At the very end of your loan.
Yep.
You not use that one.
And you find out that you spend $200,000 on a $200,000 house at the end of 30 years. Yeah, cars are worse.
Yeah, new cars.
That's why they want you to get that payment down. How low can you go on your payment? Because the lower you can go on your payment, that's the more money that we can make off of you.
Look at my car. I was staying until it
Falls apart.
broke.
Still doing compound. There we go. Compound interest. Here we go. Paid n times per year. There is your formula for those that are listening. A is equal to P times 1 plus R over N raised to the NT power. There's the formula. They did fix it. They just waited after they dummied it down, and now they're giving it to you.
so will N always be 12 or?
No, N could be 4 times a year, which would be quarterly. It'll say in the question. It'll say compounded quarterly every 3 months. It'll say compounded monthly, compounded daily, which is unheard of, compounded semi-annually. What's semi-annually? Annually. Twice a year. What's annually? Once a year. So N would be 1 if it's annually. N would be 2 if it's semi-annually. For those that are listening and not talking while I'm talking, which is rude, that's warning number 2. Third, I'll ask you to leave. Is that fair? Okay? Now,
Yes, if this is daily, then what would it be?
daily, how many days are in a year? 365. That's unheard of. And they ain't going to do that. All right? There is another one I want you to see before I let you go today, but I don't think it's called. Okay. It's where they use E. There it is, continuous. Make sure you make a note on continuous. What is the difference between continuous and compounded? Right here. A is equal to the principal times E to the R times T. R times T. R is your rate times your number of years. And instead of typing in the 1 plus R over N, instead of typing that all in, they use E, which is on your calculator right there. Right over the natural log symbol, right there, E. So if you was to do that $5,000, let me do it for you right quick. That'd be 5,000 times, parentheses, section E, and let's see, what was my rate? 3%, 0.03 times, and years, I said how many years? 1. That'd come out, continuous rate would be 5,152. How much was our compounded?
Same thing.
Comes out to be, well, again, what was my year? 1. So mostly all of them are going to be pretty close, except for me going 6% instead of 3. All right, but usually the continuous and the compound, if the year is the same, they're going to be about the same. Why do they use it? Well, some banks use it just so they don't have to go through the programming in the computer of 1 plus 0.05 over 5. They used to stick E in there because it comes out to be like the same. Okay?
Can you use that formula for both of them?
No, use it for if they say compounded continuously or compounded. Okay? Okay. Let me call the